Yesterday, when we were playing during the summer Scursol games, one of the things that we focused on with the players is talking to them about the numbers that are associated with the position. So if you think of 6, 3, 9, and 2, you have positional references, and the six is at the bottom of the diamond, the defensive end. Um, Typically in an 11v11 game, the six would be the holding center mid. And if you think of that defensive midfielder, you want to start with the diamond as the six being at the base. The role of the two and the three, those are going to be outside fullbacks and wingers. So they're going to play opposite of each other in 11v11. But their main intention during a game is to get up and down the field and work pretty heavily within their half of the field. And then the role of the top player, the number 9, is the central striker. And so we want that central striker to stay at the top of the diamond, play on the offensive side of the field. And they typically shouldn't go back too far on defense, which is difficult sometimes for families to understand when you're trying to teach roles and responsibilities. It might be commonly heard, get back on defense, but the 9 doesn't get back. The 3, 2, and the 6 get back. And the reason why is because typically you're going to have 3 versus 3. And if we win the ball, we want to immediately transition to that 9 position. Two things that happened a lot yesterday were goal kicks and restarts, meaning a goal was scored and we start from the middle of the field. So if we start first with this goal kick, when we met everybody at halftime, we talked specifically about team intentions. The team intention is, if the ball is on one side of the field, to quickly try to switch the field and get the ball to the weak side. The weak side of the field is the side of the field where the ball is not. Once we get that, then the ultimate team intention is to try to get the 9 in behind the defense to score a goal. So how that would work is, if our goalie played it out to, say, the 3, now the 3 has a couple of decisions to make. If the 9 is open, play the ball through, get in behind the defense and try to score. But let's say that the 3 gets pressure from the 2. So this 2 player pushes up, puts pressure on the 3. So now what we want the 3 to think about is playing the ball backwards, either to the 6 or back to the goalie. And then the 6 or the goalie, their intention is to switch the field to the 2. When the 2 receives the ball, this should be an immediate pass to the 9, or immediate turn upfield to go 1v1 against the defender number 3. It's much easier and faster to move the ball down the field with a pass. So we would expect the number 2 to make a pass to the 9, which would then force a 1v1 against the 6 and then the goalie. The other opportunity that we had yesterday was on restarts. And restarts are pretty similar to how a goal kick would be. The difference is the players are set up a little bit more strategically, and it should look something like this. Now, let's say that the red team was scored on. One thing that we try to not encourage is a ball that's played back to the 6. The reason we try not to do that is we've immediately chopped the field into 1/3. And what that does is it allows us to be pinned in negatively. What we would prefer is for the 9 to play it out wide to either the 3 or to the 2. If this was a real game, what we would try to do is make sure that we had a good matchup with the number 3 versus their number 2, or our number 2 versus their number 3. But either way, let's say that the 2 is receiving the ball. Once that happens, we want the 9 to push up and settle in between the 6, 9, and 3. And again, what we're looking for is a nice, quick, fast pass to the 9. If that isn't there and the 2 has to play it back to the 6, we immediately want the 6 to consider playing it to the 3, or we need the 9 to check back into this space here and have the 6 connect to the 9. These were the 2 main points that we discussed during Scursel last night. It's part of the philosophy of the club. The team intention is to switch the field and get in behind the defense. And we start layering this in even at the youngest of ages, because youngsters, whether they're in kindergarten, first or second grade, they'll eventually pick up this type of philosophy. It takes time, it takes repetition. And what we really appreciate, especially in the summer program, as well as the players that we have coming back from spring, winter, and fall of last year, is that all of the parents are allowing for the players to make decisions on their own. The reason why that's important is because what we want is for the players to have free will thinking and to make decisions on their own and not be impacted by the parents or the coaches on the sideline. The coaches do provide positive feedback and encouragement, but what we try to do is limit the amount of instruction during a game so that the children can continue to think on their own and use some of the skills that are being brought up through the weekly trainings on Mondays and Tuesdays.